So, sir, how did you kind of, what's the process of your conceptualization for your works, etc., and how did you kind of decide to work on these particular sets?
Well, I first time I went to Banaras, and the way I reacted, whatever I saw, when it's organic life, simple people, but the whole practice is something different, no? That kind of a rituals, and the moment you repeat everything, it creates a kind of a energy.
Yes.
And from I think in Indian point of view, repetition is not a negative word. It's a very strong word, but the whole the dynamics of the repetition is fantastic, which I have experienced in a life. I have experienced in art also. Especially, I work in a villages with a class people, class women. Again, they repeat. So I think from an Indian point of view, we artists should not be afraid of a repetition. That repetition itself created tremendous dimension. So in Banaras, that kind of a rituality, the kind of a repetition of a from a prayer to take a bath in a Ganges, everything is repetitive. Every day people are doing, but they are gaining something more energy out of that repetition, and that kind of experience is fantastic. To put them in words is very difficult for me, because in words I don't want to be more clear. The moment you become more clear, it becomes illustrative.
Absolutely.
So intentionally, I don't want to be clear.
I'm with Nuzat Kazmi here, who's a well-known critic. And Nuzat, can you tell us what you liked about the show?
Well, to tell you honestly, I have yet to come and see the show, but I've been going through this whole volume of drawings which Manu Bhai has actually put together as a book, which you open. It's like from biblical stories, and then comes in, lines and drawings, which have always fascinated me about Manu Bhai. His lines and the way he can create forms which not only are just forms, but they are organic. And they grow into each other, and then they make very interesting kind of.
Quite a lot of interplay happening between various forms here, right?
I think there's and very unstated, very kind of discrete control over that. There's not so much of interplay as it is kind of, a kind of a touch and go kind of qualities that I find. Where I find that, I'm really fascinated by that.
Thank you so much, Nuzat.
My pleasure, my absolute pleasure.
I'm with Ranbir Kaleka right now, who's been watching the show very keenly. Hi, Ranbir.
Hi.
Any thoughts on the show?
Well, I've known Manu's work for many years, and in fact, I've known his work before I met him. And initially, what drew me into his work is a kind of an exuberance, which was a natural, not forced exuberance, and it came out in his drawings.
Right.
So there was this energy of youth. There was almost as there were hormonal compulsions to make work of that kind. And then I came to know him and followed his work later. But as we're here today in this gallery, so there was a certain point where he began to create an architecture for those impulses, and then they were contained in a certain way, and some of them began to get more central. But what is wonderful about the work, and worth all you out there to come and see it, is that energy is still there. Yes, but there is kind of architecture which is which has come because of the how he's lived a life and he's constructed a life, and through that there are certain notions, understanding of how things develop, and when they develop, they form steps, and the steps are the steps of architecture. But within that, they are the same impulses of a very, very young man. So this is of the first hormonal, aspirations. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.